And welcome in, guys. Hope you're having a great day and getting ready for the big game. Bromley on the road, Hayes Lane. It's going to be massive. 3 points on the line. But big hello to you, and I hope you enjoyed that intro. A lot of work went into that one, and that's going to stick around for a while. I think we're going to stick with that intro for a little bit. We'll change up some little things, but I think the final Wrexham, I think will definitely stick that around. Wasn't there a lot of passion in that, eh? Oh, gotta love the crowd. When a crowd sings like Knights, you can feel the passion and the love for that team. And that's what you hear when you hear that intro. So we're going to keep that on the intro coming on in, because who doesn't like to hear that? Yeah? So, sticking around, wait till the end. You're going to love the end. It's very funny, and the other part is very factual. We're talking about the fun facts. As part of Ultimate Soccer, we have two segments. The fun facts, and we also have the centre spot. Two little segments at the end. You're going to have to check them out. You'll love it. But there's some fun stuff to finish with. You're going to love it. And like I say, if you've got a comment or you want to like, subscribe and like, or tap that notification button, please do join the family and help us grow to 1,000, because the sooner we get to 1,000, the sooner we get to go live, and then I can go live commentary on all Wrexham games. Isn't that what I'm looking for? Yes, absolutely. So please help me push it around, guys, and get us to 1,000, because one is all we are. We are one is all we are. We're all one family at the Ultimate Soccer Show. We're all together. So let's push this together, and basically let me commentate the games while you're sitting in the crowd, and you'll love what I come out with, because I've commentated games at FIFA World Cups. I've commentated games at professional games. And commentating games is a big part of my life. I've commentated in some of the most famous stadiums in the world. So I'm a big part of the inside of the business side of football delivery. So commentary of games, that's what I've done for a long time. So help me to get to 1,000 on YouTube. And then I'll commentate the Wrexham games, and then you're going to love that, because I love commentating. So if you're loving what you're doing a good job, yeah? So get me to 1,000, everybody. Pass it around. Let's get it. Like, subscribe, and like, and tap the notification button, and let's go. So let's move it on. Let's get into this. We're going to talk about the last game quickly. 1-0 against Southend United. We've got a picture. Take a look at that picture. Doesn't Paulie look like he's a little bit close to Stevie Arnold in goal there for Southend United? I think so. Now, if you look at the other angle, you're going to see the video. So from the throw-in, you'll see the throw-in, you'll see the throw back in, the cross comes in. Stevie Arnold goes up to try and gather the ball. Paulie Marling slides in, arm up. And didn't the picture look like Paulie's got an arm on him? Well, listen, on the other side, you get to see a different angle. It's not always what you think you see. Watch the video. So make up your own mind about Paul Mullin and Stevie Arnold. I'm not telling you what I'm thinking. I think you probably think you know what I think, but you go along. Tell me what you think down below. Did Stevie have a fumble, or did Paul have a hand on and make him fumble? There's only two ways it could have gone. I don't think I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. Tell me what you're thinking, or whether you think it was, the keeper or Paul Mullin. So that's what I'm saying. Anyway, we've had a few people march onto the channel recently and subscribe to the channel. Big thanks to you guys. And we have to say big welcome. And all those people that were welcoming in will be behind me right now. So there we are with the last game, Southend United 1-0, goalkeeper error. And the next game, obviously, if you're on the road right now, you could be taking one of a couple of different routes, one or two routes, really. But for people who don't live in the UK, who don't have an idea how far away and where you're going and what it's all about, here's a couple of pictures to show people, around the world, the worldwide Wrexham AFC fans can get a glimpse of how far the Red Dragons army has got to march from Wales into England, how far they got to go, and where it all ends up. So have a look at these pictures for everybody who doesn't know how to get across that part of the world, who hasn't been there before, and enjoy viewing where the Red Army is going to be driving to the destination of Bromley. Have a look. I'll be back in a second. So there you go. Now you see a little bit more about where everybody's got to go to and then come back and how long. And that last little stretch as you're going around that south part of London, I know that very well. I lived in the south part of London for a while. But that last stretch going into Bromley is like dead slow. And lots of traffic and lots of construction. And you'd wish you'd never drove along that road on a daily basis. So that last little piece, it's sort of like... yeah, it's a little bit slow, but that's the journey they're taking, and that's how, you know, you can go one of two ways. You can go north to east over around London, or you can go north to south on the west side. So I'd personally go to the west side of London and south wide. I wouldn't bother going to the east side. I'd just go straight west. So anyway, that's my particular, but anybody who didn't know how to get there, if you're around the world, that's what the Red Army, the fans of Wrexham, had to do coming up for the game on Bromley. And they've done many trips this year and many trips over the years, but just saying, locally, now that's the way to go. So now we're going to show you with our lovely Subbuteo lineup already out there at Hayes Field, on the field, warming up. Take a look at the possible lineup. You're going to love this. So remember, guys, that's just a possible lineup. That's not concrete. And by the way, we're going to be bringing the stats and the man of the match again at the post-game after the Bromley match. So man of the match and the stats. So remember, stats and man of the match coming through. Now, the prediction of the game. Well, you're all saying win, 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 win. I know you're saying win, win, win. Who is not saying win? Everybody's saying win. But here's the deal. Last time Wrexham played was January 10th at the Racecourse Ground against Bromley. It was a 2-1. Corey Whitty got a goal on 33. Paul Mullin tied it up on 45 with a penalty. And James Jones got the winner on 73. Great game, by the way. I was really, really entertained with that game. It was a battle. It was one of those games where you really had to fight for it. And let's face it, Bromley's not a bad team, you know. I mean, yeah, they're sitting 10th in the league, but they're a decent outfit. So it's going to be interesting. They lost the last game at home to York City 3-0, however. But form being what it is, we'll get to that pretty soon. But James Jones got the winner last time we got it there, 2-1 at home at the Racecourse Ground. And let's look for another win. Yes, please. Let's get another 3 wins. Notts County won in midweek, so it's a point between Wrexham and County going into the final game on the weekend. But let's talk form. Last 5 games with Bromley, 1 win in 5. They've lost, drew, won, drew, lost in that order in the last 5. Wrexham unbeaten in the last 5, unbeaten in the last 25. Actually, the streak is now 25 games, 20 wins, 5 draws. And let me think now. 65 points from 75 points out of that time, and 54 goals scored, 24 against. Now, the form, last 5, 2 wins recently, a draw in the middle of it, and then 2 wins to finish out your round of 5. So basically 4 wins and a draw in the last 5. Wins and draws, that's what Wrexham's business is right now. It's what it has been for a long, long time. Here's an amazing stat for you. Since 1921, Wrexham's 14 games this season is the best opening of a calendar year for Wrexham since 1921. That's 102 years. Check your files, but it's a massive, massive, massive opening to a year. It could get even better. So let's not jinx anything. That's just giving the facts out. It's not gloating. It's just saying, hey, that's what it is. Right. So league so far, 28-7-2 on the season, 95-34, 95 goals, 34 against, 91 points. On the other side of the table, 13 wins, 13 draws, 10 losses. Not many losses, yeah. 50 goals scored, 45 goals against, 53 points. So sitting in 10th, no, they're not lighting it up, but they're certainly not being lit up either. They don't give up much. They don't cough up much at all. They're pretty tight in what they do, but they don't sort of get destroyed. If you look at the league records so far this year, they haven't been destroyed, but they don't destroy you either. So it's tight matches all the way through. I'm going to say that we got to look out for 3 players basically on Bromley's side. I'm thinking Adam Marriott. He's got 10 goals so far from 23 games. He's definitely lethal, but he can play in a few different positions. So has he got his best position in midfield? as an attacking midfielder, or has it got to be up front? I think that they probably would try to put him up front. I think that's where he's best suited. So, Adam, look out for him. You've got Omar Sowunmi, and he's got 29 games, 8 goals. And then finally, Michael Cheek, 34 games and 9 goals. Those are the 3 guys I'd watch out for. Other than that, goals are pretty much around the team, but thinly. Remember, they don't cough up much, but they don't give up much. When you've gone to this stage of the season, you've only scored 50 goals and you've only got 45 against. You know, that's a really tight ratio. So, like I say, they don't give up much, don't trouble you with much. I think on the record and the balance of games recently, their last 10, no, it's not doing. 3 wins, 5 draws, 2 losses in the last 10. 11 goals for, 11 goals against, 11 points out of 30. So if you take that together with 65 points out of 75 for Wrexham, you've got to say there's a gulf between the teams. If form hits the grass, and I think it will, Wrexham's had a nice week to prepare for this one. So there's a nice rest and recuperation from last week's game, which was a tough one. That was a tough game in chilly conditions. And again, credits to the ground crew for getting that game off the ground. Brilliant. But chilly, tough game. And Wrexham had it in their hand. There's no real problems. I mean, they were keeping Southend at bay. But with this one, I got to say, we should be coming out of this with 3 points. I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't. I'm looking for minimum a draw, but I don't want a draw. I want wins all the way to the end of the season. Remember, 7 wins and first spot is guaranteed. With one of those wins against Notts County, there's no way it can go any other way. And let's forget one thing, or not forget it, I should say. Notts County are not going anywhere. They're tracking us. They're sticking with us. They want to catch us now. So it's up to us to stick where we are, maintain the form, keep that gap. We don't play, keep the game in hand, turn up the next time, win that game, keep winning these games, and whatever Notts County does doesn't matter. Let's keep first, stay first. And I'm saying on the road at Bromley, I really think it's either one or two things. 1-0 for Wrexham, because it could be very tight, or it gets into a nice little battle backwards and forwards where Wrexham do win out 2-1. So do I want to see a repeat of Dagenham and Redditch with the 4-0? Yeah, I'd love that. Who wouldn't? But that doesn't come around every day. But if we get into that Real Madrid stroking the ball around system again, well, you never know. I'm looking for big things. Anyway, get there, travel safe, and listen, no breakdowns, not on the field, not in your vehicles, not going there. So one thing I want to do now is I want to take 2 little things, taking a look at the fun facts and taking a look at the centre spot. Let's go to the centre spot first. Okay, guys, done with a little bit of sarcasm, because you know I'm a little sarcastic, and that's good for the show, and it's good for the heart. And they do say that sarcasm is the highest form of intelligence, lowest form of wit. Well, let's have some high intelligence if no wit at all. But anyway, on the centre spot, recently, and I'm not saying what I think, I'm just making a little bit of a light-hearted poking fun at the BBC, because they are a laughing stock, aren't they? If you didn't know, like in the week, well, you do know. I'm just going to go straight to it. Lineker. What are your thoughts on Lineker boycotting the show and crying off, and then his buddies joining with him and then going back on the show? That's all I'm going to say. I've got nothing more to say about it, because I think it's quite humorous in one way, but I can also see how it could piss people off, because it did. And I also know that with certain people saying, for the love of God, don't let them back. Don't let them back. Now's a chance to get new blood. But you can hear either side of the equation. But I know a lot of people pissed off with Lineker and Shearer and Wright, and I call them Mo, Curly, and Larry, just to let you know. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. If you don't, the Three Stooges. Anyway, what do you think about Lineker and the rest of them doing what they did? They did it. Was it right? Was it wrong? Was the BBC right? Were they wrong? Did you hate what they did? Did you love what they did? You can't stand on one side of the fence on that one, even if you're laughing sarcastically like me. Now let's move along to the fun facts. So, guys, the fun facts is a rather funny story. Recently, I was watching a channel, and that's the channel I was watching. And I was watching it for a reason. I'll get to the point. This guy has recently been subscribed to YouTube, and he's also been streaming channels of himself at different sorts of situations. And then recently with the Wrexham, he's been streaming live games from the National League's site. So he's got a subscription for it, and he's been illegally showing the games on YouTube. So I saw this a couple of weeks ago, and I talked to one of my friends here, and I said, you know what, I can't believe this guy's getting away with this. I mean, he's going to get busted eventually, you know? And he went on a few times and went on a few times. So while I'm watching Wrexham legally, I've got this channel on YouTube flying by the side, and I'm waiting for this guy to get done. And he doesn't get done, and he doesn't get done, and he still gets these videos out, and he still brings up more subscribers each week, and he's growing, growing, growing. Now, get to the point. Last game against Southend United, okay? Like I said, he's got 1,800 subscribers in his channel, his family, right? The game against Southend, there's 3,000 people plus watching the game that he's streaming. That's pretty damn decent, right? 3,000 from all over the world. There's guys chucking in from, and when I say chucking in, they're chucking money at him. I saw a $200, here you go, have that, Mr. Garcia, and loads of other money. The money was pouring in for this guy. I'm like, whoa, this guy's making a truckload of money. And how's he doing it? How's he getting away with it? Has he got a friend in YouTube somewhere? So like I say, I'm waiting patiently. I'm watching the game. Got this channel on YouTube as well. I've got the big screen for the game. YouTube's over there, and I'm watching and I'm waiting. And eventually, boom, it happens. 70-odd minute in, his screen goes black. Nothing at all. It's gone. 0, 0, 0. And then this warning comes up, and it's from the National League. And it's like, we are claiming a copyright claim against your ass, and we're shutting you down. So YouTube, boom, shuts him down because, yes, indeed, this guy's definitely got a subscription to the National League's games, right? But you're not supposed to be streaming to 3,000 people and making money and raking it in, because he was raking it in. And I should say that was the sign, the channel that he had before with the nice colors and everything else. If you look at his channel now, nothing. Just writing and no videos. All his videos have been taken out. So in a way, when he got took down, it was bloody funny, because he's quite happy there, running the chat, doing everything good, like, and having a good time. He's like, well, I'm making some money today. Yeah. And he's doing the chat and la, 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 and everything's wonderful. And he's in paradise, right? He can't believe his luck. He can't believe his luck. And then he gets shut down black. When he gets shut down, he's got a blank screen. He is in panic mode. He's like, and his hands on the keyboard, and he brings it back up. Amazingly, he logs out, comes straight back in, and boom, the game's back up. And we're like, oh, this guy's got magical bloody powers. How the hell does he get that to do that? Once you get shut down, bada boom, bada bing, you're done. Anyway, 2 minutes later, like I say, oh, Mr. Panic Man has got it back up. Not 5 seconds later, boom, it's down, black screen, done. And ever since then, well, nothing's coming. Now, this is the new screen he's got, and there's nothing on it, right? I am waiting this weekend to see what he's doing. But bear in mind, this guy had like hundreds of videos way down below in his catalog there, in his library. There's nothing there now, not a border. Nothing on his sign there. Nada, not a thing. So just thought I'd end the show with something funny, that if you're trying to make money illegally off the Wrexham, you are going to get busted. Somebody would have seen something there, and I got to say, the money that he was getting, raking in there, criminal, absolute criminal. I'm laughing, right? So anyway, get to the game safely. I'm looking for the 3 points, 1-0 or 2-1. That's what I'm looking at. And hey, comment down below if you enjoyed the show, and if you didn't, comment down below. We want to know why. And listen, share it to all your mates on the bus going there, in the cars, whatever, in the crowd. Share it. Get them all on board, because we've got to get to 1,000. Once we get to 1,000, then I can commentate the games in your ear at the game. Or, for that matter, you're watching the game, and I can be the voice in your speakers. Someone that you basically know. Okay? So, have a good time at the game. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you have any few bevies on St. Patrick's Day, have some. and we're going to be putting out a St. Patrick's Day show anyway. And it's also the FA Cup as well this weekend as well, so we got lots to do. Look at the ultimatesoccershow.com website online and see what we have there. We've got some cheeky pictures in the gallery. Nothing nasty, but really sarcastic. But anyway, have a great time at the game, and come back for the post game, and be safe, everybody. Much fun. Have some, and let's have it. Cheers.
The Ultimate Soccer Show. Join me, listen, you'll love it. Everybody does.